So I can see now more participants here. So how many participants do we have now? Let me see. 14, like including me.
including the three of us. So that's
Yeah,
11.
11, yes. Okay, last one more minute, then we can start. I can see more people are joining. Good effort, the mother.
Thank you, thank you. It only happens if we have amazing, excited students.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes.
I think we can start now.
Yes, let's start. And it's recorded anyway, so they can refer to the recording later on.
Okay, so formally we are starting. So the time is over. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good evening and greetings. I thought we will be having more students maybe from other parts of the Gulf University. So I don't think so there is anyone. So these are greetings from Bahrain, from University of Bahrain. So welcome everyone to attend this session, and we are very happy to see you all that you are having interest in the participation of this small design competition. So before we start the formal induction, I think it will be a good idea to know what is the background about this design. You may have seen the posters only for the competition, but you may not have the may not have the idea what is the background story behind this competition. So last year in 2019, there was some kind of agreement with UNESCO or with the Bahrain government. They dedicate November 18th as to celebrate World Islamic Day, or you may also call it International Islamic Day. And this was actually already approved by the UNESCO that now in Bahrain every year we can celebrate International Islamic Day, where we can really cherish the 1400 years old history of Islamic architecture, Islamic art, and of course our culture and religion. So with that idea, this is the first ever event of this celebration, and with a very short time and with this very great idea from the Bahrain Authority of Culture and Antiquities, that it's better to celebrate this starting from this year. So with this idea in University of Bahrain, our head of the department, she actually encouraged our committee, which is actually working for the culture and heritage projects. And we are having also collaboration with the Bahrain Culture Authority and Antiquities. So just to start this initiative to celebrate this International Islamic Day. So with this idea, we are having some series of events, and we really want to make it very successful event. So we actually decided to have this small idea as a symposium from our university. So what we plan for this first symposium, we are having two series of lectures in 2 different days starting from tomorrow, and you may have seen the program. We will have one day discussion about the Islamic architecture, Islamic ornamentation, what is the role of Islamic art in this in the field of design, and it will be very interesting to hear. And we will also see that how architectural students or design student, whether they belong to architecture design, interior design, or landscape design, how they really take this opportunity and participate in the mosque competition. So I would like to read one part from our project brief, which you may have already seen, that the main objective of this design competition is to see how architecture plays an important role or any design, either it is interior or architecture, because we work with the combination of form and space. So whenever we are designing for example, spatial designing, we know that this is related with the functional requirement. We will see that how form and space play an important role in any function. That function could be a religious function, that could be an educational function, or any other thing. So particularly for this Islamic Day, our main project is Islamic building, religious building, which is a mosque. And we have this opportunity to design a mosque from architecture point of view and from interior point of view. So a successful design would be the one that achieves the sense of spirituality, which is a very important part of this design project. What we feel now that with this materialistic life, we are more towards the materialistic achievement, right? Materialistic achievement means we always have a goal to achieve something, and somehow spiritually our main goal, as we all believe that there is another life after death, so the main goal which we can get with the help of some spiritual sense, and how we can bring that feel of spirituality in the space of worship. So what we want you, that when you are designing this mosque, either apart from architecture or interior, you need to evoke the sense of spirituality in the space. That is a very big challenge. Of course, I know that it is a learning stage for you in designing such buildings, but we will really encourage if you could somehow manage to bring the sense of spirituality in the space, which is a very materialistic space. And we know that the space, if it is having some kind of enclosure, it creates some kind of senses. You could work with different colors, you could work with different materials, with the role of light, to evoke those senses. So that is the main idea behind this competition, and thank you very much for all of you to participate, to think about the participation of this design competition. There is another very important information which I think it will be better to announce about the prizes of this competition at the end, if you don't know. So I would like to start explaining this mosque competition, what is the architecture program, and then Mrs. Afaf will continue the explanation about the interior design program of the mosque competition. And at the end, we are available to answer if you have any queries, if you have any doubts about this competition details, and if you need further clarification about the design implementation. So the main format of the project is actually you're supposed to design a mosque for interior and for architecture as well. I mean the architecture part and the interior part. We will talk about the requirement of the summation at the end. But what we basically want, that when you are designing about the architecture part of the mosque, you should consider that the mosque is situated in an urban environment, which is having some kind of neighborhood context. And your site, which is given in Sanad, it is very close to Sanad Health Center, or you may call it Isa Town Health Center. It is very much close from there, and you can see the landmark is Gulf University Health Center, and within that secondary road, if you look at the map, you will see the site of the mosque. So it is what we want, that you should pay some attention to the dimension and proportion of the spaces. Why we are talking about dimension and proportion? Because it is a small scale mosque. You cannot really think about the very huge size of a dome or a minaret, very high minaret. So proportionally, when you design, you should consider what is the given area, and what are the given areas for each component, which can really help you to decide your height of the building components. However, to give you some reference, we mentioned you in the design brief that what is the maximum height of your project. So the total area of your design of the mosque is actually 25 meters by 20 meter, which is approximately 400 square meter. That is the main area of the mosque. Within that area, we gave you, some idea. If you want, can I share my screen, Tamadar? I think that will be good for them to have a look.
Sure, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, let me try to share with you my screen. So I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so we are talking about the architecture design program and the consideration, which I already mentioned that it is an urbanistic environment. And we were talking about the area. So you can see the total area of the mosque is 25 by 20. And within that area, we have given you certain elements to be considered while you're designing. Of course, when we talk about the mosque architecture, we try to keep it as simple as possible. So you will be having main praying hall, which is the main purpose of the building. So it may include 100 people to do their worship, and that will be having approximately 150 meter square area. Now it is up to you. We are giving you the area only. It is up to you how you want to shape your design. It could be any polygon shape, it could be any circular shape, it could be a simple square. It is all up to you how you want to achieve that. Likewise, we have given you maximum height of the mosque, which is 6 meters, because again, as per the proportional understanding of the area for the praying hall, which is 15 by 10 meters. So again, you can add with that 6 meters the addition of the dome or the addition of minaret if you want to add. Again, it is up to your conceptual approach that how you want to see those symbolism or those elements of the mosque in your design. It is totally up to you that how you want to see. The main idea that how you will see those traditional mosque element in the contemporary time, how you will relate those elements in the contemporary time. As we already know, with the praying area, we always have ablution area in the mosque. So for that ablution area, the area is given 20 meter square. Again, you can make ablution area as a closed space. You can have ablution area as an open space. It could be a halls. It could be design in the courtyard. If you want to plan to provide a courtyard, it could be also maybe some kind of around the water fountain or anything. It is up to you how you want to see your ablution area. Then of course you will have some toilet facilities, and that will be having 15 meters square. Courtyard is optional. Again, it is up to your conceptual approach, how you want to approach towards your design. So that is again, you can go up to 100 meters square. And obviously when you design any functional spaces, there is always addition of circulation space, 10%, in addition. So the scale of the dome or the minaret, as I already mentioned, it depends on the overall proportion of the mosque, and these other spaces of the mosque we already defined. So let's discuss the interior design part. Okay, before that, it's better to go with the site plan. So this is the site plan of the mosque. So this red area, which you can see here, it is actually Isa Town Health Center. And somewhere, if you go down, you will find the Gulf University. I'm just trying to give you some idea. And with this health center, if you move further inside the Sanad area, you will find already there is one existing mosque. So just imagine that the mosque is not there, only we are taking the site of the mosque. So you need to design the mosque within that residential context, right? And when we see the architectural site plan, so it is very clear that on the three sides of the mosque, you are having plots. So there are residences mostly. And only in the front side, you are having almost 12 meters wide road. So of course, the entry of the mosque, or the access of the mosque, will be given only from the one single side. According to the Qibla direction, because if you go to the mosque, it is advisable to keep your entrance on this side, which you can see when you enter to the mosque building, to the area on your left. It is the best possible way to provide the main entrance. Now you have 7 meter space on both sides, on the right and on the front. It is up to you if you want to treat your ablution area as an open space, or want to provide a courtyard, how you are going to deal with these spaces. And of course, on the back and on the other side, you are having setback spaces of 3 meters. However, the setback area could be utilized in your landscape detailing, right? So this is the main plan of the mosque. This is the site of the mosque. Now Mr. Faf is going to present you interior design part of the mosque architecture, and after that we will go back to discuss the submission requirement and other details of the mosque. Over to you, Faf.
Yes,
You want
thank
to
you
share
very
from
much.
your side, Faf, or it
Yeah,
is okay?
I will share from my side. To scroll screen. Trying to share screen. Okay, is that showing now the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Aisha. You covered mainly the objective of this competition, and it actually applies equally in the same way, whether it's for architecture or from the interior part of it. What it comes now when the interior part of the competition, what the details that we're going to say, again, the same ideas, the same kind of approach that you have explained, it will be applied as well on the interior part. And now the students, they have two options now to choose from. We divided the interior into two options. Option one, which is area one, it's the prayer hall. And option two will be the ablution area. So the students or the participants, they can actually use either to go with the praying hall or to go with the ablution area, wherever you think that you are more, you will be more creative and you have more potential in showing your creativity, and you will reach the target of the objective of this competition, taking any of these two areas. So when we take area one, which is the praying hall, looking at it from the interior point of view, you need to see how you can apply your the Islamic symbolism in it, the ambience you want to create, how to make it more spiritual, what are the treatments that you want to add in the elements that you have, whether it's on the walls, the flooring, the ceiling. All of these elements that they will combine together to create that ambience you want to create as soon as you enter the praying hall. In addition to that, you need to focus on the interior elements. There are certain parts that will symbolize your praying hall, that it cannot be without those. It's the member, the mihrab, the qibla wall. They are all important elements in the praying hall. So we would like to see like what you will, what kind of elements and treatments you will use in order to highlight these important interior elements. In addition to that, of course, we want to see your interior finishes, how you are using these finishes in highlighting certain parts, the importance of the walls, the lighting design itself, how it will accentuate that spiritual ambience in the space itself. That is considering the praying hall. And of course, all the dimensions that are mentioned, it applies in the hall as well. You have we have given to you the hall, which is 10 by 15. So that's approximately 150 square meter. The height as well, as we said, applies on the interior, the maximum 6 meters as the building height. So you can calculate how much of that proportion you should have it from the interior as well. So that will be for the praying hall. When you come, if you see like you are more into the ablution area, you want to focus on that area more, you have ideas and creative solutions for that area, then you can focus on area B. Now the ablution area, as we said, it can be an enclosed space, it can be an open space, you can have a fountain there. Now whatever you want to design there that will give you that unique area, it will resemble or reflect the contemporary solutions as an interior perspective of it. So you are required to have a contemporary ablution area that you will be using, the interior lighting, the ornamentation, the usage of materials, of course, in the ablution area will be different than what you have in the praying hall. So we would like to see how you are using those kind of materials in a wet area such as the ablution area. And of course, the lighting design overall, how you will have it, maybe if it's an open area, how you will be using that, if it's an enclosed area or semi-closed area. So it's up to you what kind of approach you will have for this small area, but it's very detailed and a very vital area in the mosque. So when you come to the praying hall, as we said, it's accommodating 100 people because we have an 150 square meter. We would like you to specify the materials, the finishes, and the details of the elements that you will be having, the mihrab, the minbar, and the qabra wall. These are the most important points that you need to highlight. An ablution area in the same way, it should be maximum of 3 meters height, considering the space of not more than 20 square meters. If you are enclosing it, it should be of that proportion. It should not be higher than that, otherwise it will look like a tunnel. But we would like to see your approach, how you want to bring new ideas and creative ideas, how to bring the ablution area at a different level, not in a very conventional way. So we're trying to see, like, if you have big areas and small areas, how creative you can be to manipulate the interior in these areas. Then that covers the interior actually. So you have two options, either to go with the praying hall or the ablution area. In general, for the evaluation system, we basically look into the entries in the same way. We are generalizing our criteria, the conceptual approach by itself, whether it's for architecture or interior. We are giving it a 20% weight. Design solution, it will be 40%. How creative you are, how original your ideas are. The drawing quality, your graphics itself, completion, and the information you are giving, how much of that you are covering, how clear your ideas are explained, that will be 30%. And of course, the overall presentation and the graphic, the quality of graphic correctness and everything, that will be a 10%. The registration dates that we have given here, of course, it was initially until today, 6 o'clock, but I think maybe we can extend it till tomorrow. So if you are willing to continue with this and you did not register yet, so hurry, register before we close the doors. And of course, the submission dates, we are thinking that it will be quite extensive. We are not giving it a very long time, considering the other issues that you want to focus on. So our deadline is going to be on the 9th of December. And of course, the submission will be online. And we will be giving you all the details how to submit your work at a later stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Damadar. Thank you very much, Afa, for your explanation. I think it is very good that you already mentioned that what will be our evaluation criteria. So when students are working, at least they will have some idea that you know, what is the most important part where they should focus. Of course, all parts are very, very important, but the creativity and your originality is a more important part, that how you will accommodate the plan, the program in your design. One more thing is very important here to discuss in this day. What is the submission requirement? So when you complete your work, you should have a cover page, and the cover page, you of course you will have the name of the competition title, name of your members, even if it is a single individual entry, or you may also work in a group of maximum 2 to 3. What is your college, department, your ID numbers, these all things. With that cover page, before you start your design, either it is architecture or interior, you should have a small description about 250 words, where you will explain your conceptual approach. What is the main idea behind your design? How you're taking inspiration from a contemporary style, or from a historic style, or from a very traditional way. So it will be better if you describe and it make it very clear. As we are saying, it should be 250 words, so we really want to see a very qualitative description. So please avoid adding extraordinary information, because for us it is important that when your juror will see your project, they will have the idea that what is your approach in the design, what is your main aim to achieve, what are your objectives, how you're planning to achieve. Okay, so that is the very important part of the submission. Then of course, we are all design members, and this is a design competition, and you cannot convey your design without drawings. So in architecture and interior both, you have to have complete set of drawings, nicely drawn, nicely done with, you can do different types of rendering. It could be black and white, it could be render. It is all up to you how you want to present. You will have a site plans showing roof detail. Roof detail is very important here. Please mention if your mosque elements are added on top of the roof, because again it matters. Sometimes these elements are added on top of the roof, sometimes these are detached with the main structure, sometimes these are attached on the floor. So these informations are very important. Then of course you will have your building plan in 1:50 scale, because the size of the mosque is very small, so it's better to have a bigger scale where you can explore more details of your design. Then you're asked to do one elevation of the same scale of your plan, and at least two exterior 3D views from different angles. Now, when we are saying two exterior 3D views, it doesn't mean that you cannot do more. It is up to you. You can explain your ideas. For example, two exterior views are the main views of your mosque from exterior. However, you can add small details such as your ablution area detail, such as maybe you have different levels in your floor, or different levels in your roof. You can add those details also with some small 3D views. As much as you add 3D views, it will make your juror easy to understand your idea. Okay, when we talk about the interior design, again the submission requirement, you have to have plan of the selected area. As Mrs. Afaf explained you, there are two categories. So if you're selecting category 1 or category 2, you have to have a proper plan in the scale of 1:50. At least one elevation, within the same scale. Now, when we are talking about interior elevation, please select carefully one elevation which can show you most of your ideas, which can show you a lot of details what you're designing in the space. Okay, so that could be maybe the view inside the space, where you can see the main entrance, maybe some openings, or maybe some detail of the ceiling on the top. Of course, when you make it, so you will see inner details. Then one detailed drawing showing material, texture, etc. So again, you can show at least one complete drawing where you can add the material. This could be one part of your spring area. This could be one part of your additional design element. So I mean, it is very, very much open. And then you will have two three-dimensional views from inside in different angles. Maybe in one view you could focus in the ceiling pattern, in one view you could focus on the maybe your spacious space in the praying hall and anything like that. So these are the basic submission requirement for your project. We have already discussed about the program of architecture part, and then also in detail we have discussed the site and its layout. And the other part of the interior design, where category A is a design of a praying hall, and category B is design of the ablution area. So if you have any question, we are here. You're most welcome to ask. Me and Mrs. Afaf are here to answer your queries. Thank you very much.
Yes, Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you, Miss? Good?
Okay,
Good.
alhamdulillah.
Good, alhamdulillah. I have several questions according what you say. The first question is there is a female and male in the mosque or only male?
Okay, thank you, Abdullah. It's a very good question. Actually, because it is a very small size mosque and we know the very short time period. So that's why we consider that it should be only male mosque. That's why you can see the height of the mosque is limited. Otherwise, if it is more higher, you could have, other floor,
Mezzanine.
within. So actually, this is only for male. It's a
Yeah,
very good question.
thank you. The other question was the site you show us. The setback is fixed, or can we change them, or is that the final result? Do we have a parking there? Because you don't mention any of them.
No, there is no parking. Basically, it's a very simple mosque. Your focus is only mosque, and especially in the mosque praying area, ablution area, toilet, and courtyard if you want to provide. So obviously, even if you don't want to provide courtyard, you will have some open space outside the mosque building. There is no parking requirement with you or any other thing. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. The next question is about the Qibla direction. I showed kind of. I have to change the orientation of the building to fix with the orientation of the Qibla. So, is that will be considered, or
Within that site, within that
yeah,
area, it is up to you how you want to orient your building. It is up to you. This is free. We just gave you approximate area with a shape, but actually, of course, you are most welcome or you're allowed to change orientation.
Yes.
I mean, it will be built or just a conceptual design?
It is
That's
conceptual. Of course, it is
Conceptual.
conceptual.
Yes.
okay. And there is a budget limit. Okay, if there's a conceptual, there is no limit,
No,
right?
no budget
Oh,
limit.
no budget.
Oh yeah. Oh, then this is okay for me.
But
Thank
please
you.
consider that internationally it is a recession time. You cannot
Yes,
make
of
most
course.
out of gold, okay?
Thank you.
The more realistic you will be, the better it is. But of course,
Sure.
we want you to be creative and don't put any limits for yourselves. But of course, don't put diamonds and everything everywhere. So you need to have
Yeah.
a limit for that.
Do
Of
we have
course.
to follow the regulation of for Bahrain for the mosque, or can we just attach the building to the site, or do we have to respect the setback you gave us, or we?
No, just follow what is given to you as the main requirements, and within the site that is given, you're flexible to do whatever you want. But yeah, it doesn't need to be restricted to certain regulations. Just follow the design requirements.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah, for very interesting questions. I think it will also help others to think how practically they can apply. I would like to add one point here, as you're mentioning about the setback. Although we have given it is, for example, from two sides 3 meters and from two sides 7 meters. If you're changing the orientation, you may need to change the setback. But as you know that we need to leave some spaces around the building. So please at least consider that 2 to 3 meters should be left over, outside.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Zainab Abdel Hussein.
Hello all.
Hello.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
There was one point actually I didn't get it. So, for the interior and the exterior design, are we supposed to design both, or we are free to take whatever we want? So either the architecture or the interior design.
Yes, you are given the choice. If you take the architecture, then it will be the form from the outside. If you are taking the interior, then you have two areas: the praying hall or the ablution area. So you are given the three choices. If you are from the interior design students, then you take the interiors if you want, and the architecture will be focusing more on the architectural form.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Tamada, Dr. Tamada, you want to say something?
Yeah, just to like follow up with the questions that's been asking, like Abdullah, for example. So yeah, you're talking about technicalities and the site and so on, and just like what my colleagues were saying, it is very conceptual. It is sort of a conceptual design. So just like what Afaf was saying, don't put any limitations to your creativity. What we're looking for is something like this is for all of you. What we're looking for is something that is visionary. You need to like study the cultural aspects, study the religious values of today, of the contemporary society today. And your proposal should be something that would envision how people behave in the space and in the surroundings, so in the site itself. So you would need to predict what is like this is a mosque that is يعني conceptual. It's like imagine that it would be like a future project. So would you pray in the same mosque design that you pray in now, the same as when you pray in 10 years time in a mosque? So you need to be forward looking, visionary, try to predict what kind of trends that would be acceptable and locally, for example, that would still fit within the cultural values. All of these are something that we're looking for that actually determine how creative you are or how innovative your design is. So this is just a quick tip to kind of like maybe it could give you direction on how to design and what to propose.
Yes, definitely. Okay, thank you very much. Then we have Zainab. Do you still have another question?
No,
Zainab.
so
Okay.
I lower my hand.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I would like to encourage you all as you're having very good discussion on these questions, but when you are starting this design competition, you are participating, it will be very good if you attend our lecture series tomorrow, because that will give you more idea how we are having more richness in the Islamic symbolism, because those lectures are actually based on Islamic art and architecture. So that will really give you some insight, that how in mosque architecture, especially geometry, how geometry plays its role in the design in 2D formation, or it is in 3D formation, 3D form development, and how your Islamic features especially symbolizes in architecture. How is our religious faith actually see those elements in the space. And of course, this is architecture or interior design project. We are talking about the spatial planning. So you should consider that within the very small area, how you can make the feel of the spaciousness. Especially for interior designing, we are just giving you area. So it is up to you how you want to create openings in there in that place. How big or tall your openings are. What kind of treatment you want to bring, for the lighting. What happens if it is a daylight role in the space. What if it is dark, so how your light can play another spiritual role in the space.
Yes. Thank you very much. We have Zainab Ibrahim.
Salam, Dictora.
Hello, salam.
We are supposed to design the full plan, but the 3D renders it will be shown in one area of ablution or drying hall or لا إنه لازم بس area واحدة ناخذها والثانية بتكون زون فاضي.
I couldn't understand your question. Like you think like you want to design a corner of that ablution area?
No, okay. I can answer what I understood. Zainab, please correct me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Sorry. Yes, Zainab, I understand, because with this time limit, it will be very difficult for you to make the whole building as a 3D rendered mosque. Okay, so you can even have, maybe with manual sketches you can participate. If you're good in manual sketching, maybe you could, render your sketches. You can sketch and render it by hand. This is also acceptable. Or if you are good in computer, editing or computer programming, so you can use any software in computer, Max, SketchUp, AutoCAD, anything. So the medium is free. It could be digital, it could be manual. Okay, Zainab, am I right? I mean, was this your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Welcome.
So you're free to use any means of presentation that it will explain your concept in a better way. Yeah. Okay. We have Abdullah. Again, Abdullah,
Hello.
you have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, regardless what you say later, you say if I am an architect, I can choose path one, which is for the form, shape, and for the whole mosque, right? So I have to make design for the mosque and Ablution area together, or if I am considering them as an outdoor area.
From the
No, you have to
architectural
do.
point of view.
Yes.
Yeah, like if
See
you're
the brief?
designing the form, then you have to show where, in your plan, you have to identify where the ablution area is, where the toilets are, and everything as architectural plan. And then when you do the 3D, you should show these areas where they are located, if it shows in the angle that you're showing. But you don't need to go in detail like the interior designers are doing. Okay, like to go inside and show all the materials and everything. It will be more focused on the architectural part.
Also regardless the group work, you say it is okay to have 2 to 3 members. It is okay, or
yes, you can have 2 to 3 members, or you work individually. It's up to you.
And for the presentation, what you will make it kind of PDF file, or what is the proportion
It
A4
will be
or
PDF file. It will be PDF file. You can just bring all your work in PowerPoint, and then you can convert your PowerPoint with different slides in the PDF. But in the submission requirements, we have already mentioned, you will have a cover page, you will have site plan, building plan, then one elevation. So of course, each of these architecture information will be in one slide or in one sheet. You may have additional pages of your conceptual approach, of your design process. It is allowed. These are the basic requirements what we mentioned, but you may also include your conceptual approaches, your sketches, your additional sections.
So you will be like designing a poster for each focus or for each title. Like if it's like a concept, then you do a poster combination of different sketches, visuals, some wording here and there that explains your concept. Then you go to the architectural part, which is the plan. So I'll leave the presentation to you, how you want to do it, but make it more like presentable. It's not like individual drawings. It will be more of a presentation format.
Yeah, one more question is there is a jury for it, or it will be just
Course.
okay,
Yes,
that's better.
of course. There is a
Essential
jury
part
panel.
of design.
Yes, we have 5 members of jurors that we will look into detail with all the submissions, and of course we will grade them like we usually do. We know best of that because we are familiar with it. But yeah, I mean, we will give the highest marks to the most innovative designs and more creative ones, according to the criteria that we have listed.
So I think I am finished.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah, for all your questions.
You're welcome.
We have Zainab. Do you have another question? Zainab Ibrahim?
I think she has already asked question.
Yeah, maybe she forgot her hand up. Yes, okay. Anyone else has any question, any inquiry, any doubt? That is your time, that is your chance to ask anything you want. And of course, we will be available.
دكتورة
Yes, Zainab.
سؤال طلبتوا علينا سكيلز معينين حق الاليفيشنز والبلان إذا سلمناه في مثلا باوربوينت برزنتيشن ما بيبين عندكم السكيل بس
No. Yeah. But the thing is, when you say 1 to 50, this means there is a certain limit of details that we want to see. If it's 1 to 100, it will be less details. So when we say 1 to 50, this means you need to add more details that it will be shown clearly.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So if it's 1 to 100, then it will be too small to see things like that. But in a PowerPoint presentation, you will add the more detailed elements that you are using then.
اوكي وبعد عندي سؤال الحين الكورتيارد هو اوبشنال حق ان احنا نسوي له ديزاين او لا مساحته بتكون من داخل البراير هال نفسها او شلون
the area that is given to you for architecture for the architectural part, the area that is given to you is around 400 square meters, right? So the praying hall is 20 by 25. So the remaining part, you can say like if you want to add that courtyard, it will be part of that area.
وإذا كنا interior ما نسوي الكورتيارد؟
The interior, you have two categories. You have the ablution and you have the praying hall because you will have more details in that. We wanted to go more into detail with the material, with the ornamentation, the lighting design and all.
هو هاي كان سؤالي من ساعة إن إذا إحنا سوينا البلان إن مثلاً اخترت الابلوشن اريا التزم بالقياسات والبراينج هول ما أسوي لها يعني ما أصممها من ناحية البلان ما أحط فيها فرنتشر هاي كان سؤالي.
No, you can. From the interior, you have to take the praying hall. And then you say like, if you want to add any elements on the wall, you want to even change the orientation of the wall where the qibla is. So you look at it from the interior perspective. How you want to orient your praying hall, the lines that you are adding in your interior, how it's going to be, how is it connected between the floor to the walls to the ceiling, and to the interior elements, the mihrab, the qibla wall, how you want to highlight all that. So yeah, you can change from the interior point how you want to do it. Okay, is this answering your question, Zainab?
إيه شكرا.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so anyone else has any question?
Okay, yes.
We have Hussein.
Yes,
Hussein
Hussein.
Khalil.
Yeah.
Hello, doctors. Good
Hello.
evening.
Hi, Hussein.
I just have one question regarding the area for the prayer hall. What is the maximum and minimum for that area, for the praying hall area?
See, we have given you approximate area 120. Of course, you can have 10% less, 10% more, but not more than that, because the area is calculated as per the 100 people praying space. So 10% less or more is adjustable, but not more than that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So 100 persons for the prayer hall, and for the ablution area is
See, Hussein, of course, for the praying time, it is like they all pray together. You know, if you are doing if it is a praying time, but for ablution, maybe of course they will not all go and do wudu together. You know, some people will do. Maybe some people do wudu at home and then come just to pray in mosque. But still, we give this facility in the mosque that they can come and do this.
All right. Yeah, but my question was for how many persons should we make it? You mentioned number, but I forget it now. For 6 or
no, for the praying hall, it can accommodate 100, up to 100. For the ablution, you have 20 square meters. So for the interior, the interior part, the other category, it is 20 square meters. So you can do your own layout in a way to accommodate the maximum you can within this area. So we're giving you the freedom to do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I would like to add one more thing here, Hussein, that related with your architecture query, because see, if you are providing a house, for example, so obviously that water feature is not part of the ablution area. You understand? For example, if you are having a house in the center and in the surrounding, you're having ablution spaces. So that water area will not be counted as the space of that. Okay, just to make it clear. So you have to see that how, like if one person is sitting forward, so how much area is required for that one person, and then you can calculate if maybe then you have to tell us actually that within that 20-meter square 10 people can be accommodated or 15 people. I mean, it is up to you how you want to design that space.
Okay, within the required area.
Within the required area. And we already mentioned it could be 10% less or more. It is fine.
Okay, great. Thank you, doctors.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Hussein. Someone else raised a hand. Yes, Fatima.
Abdul Rasul. Yes, Fatima.
Hi, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question regarding the ablution area. It will be only indoor, or can we do it like exterior and interior? Like, can we divide it?
You can actually. It's up to you how you want to deal with that area. You can make it half closed, half enclosed, half open, or it can be completely open or completely enclosed. It's all up to you how you want to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else has any question? Yes, Zainab again. Zainab Ibrahim.
دكتورة شلون عن الوان ديتيلد شنو بنسوي فيها؟ هي furniture detail أو
any part of your design that you enlarge and give more detail about it. It can be maybe an ornamentation that you have done, maybe a certain projection or an element that you're doing in that area, something that you want to focus more on. It can be a lighting design. It can be something that is embedded in the wall, for example. You want to show detail about it. So it's something more focused, like you go zoom in and then see how it is designed.
يعني نفس فكرة الemphasis area إنه مثلا نسوي لها elevation plan بس إنه شيء إن a big scale شوي.
Don't make it too large because the space is already, that's 20 square meters. That can be by itself as an emphasis area. But if you go more in detail, let's say, for example, you have an elevated part where the ablution area is. So you take that part and you have multiples of those. You take one of them and then you do a detail. You show us how you're doing it. Okay, or maybe there is like an ornamentation, a carving, for example, on the wall. You go into more detail and show how it is done. How much is the thickness, what material, and so on.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining, and still I will repeat once again that there are 2 lecture series. In one lecture series we will be talking about Islamic geometry, symbolism in the Islamic architecture, and in the other lecture series you will have a very good opportunity to see case studies of different region of mosque. So I think that will really give you a very good inspiration, that may give you a good inspiration that will enhance your understanding about the mosque architecture in different parts of the world. So please do attend those events.
You should know that we are actually choosing 4 winners. That will be 2 from the architecture and 2 from the interior. So you have a big opportunity there. It's not only 1 winner from all the batch, it will be 2 and 2. So you have a lot of potentials over here.
Would you like to add anything, Dr. Thamadar? I think it is almost we are at the end of the session.
Yeah, nothing, just I'm wishing all the best for everyone here. I really appreciate that. I can see how many are we having here? 23, 22 people. I mean, this is good because also the awards are really, really, very encouraging to actually put a little bit of your design work on the side and then work on this as a side thing, and it can also help you broaden up your thoughts. There is also beside what Mrs. Asha was saying, there is a panel discussion. It's all about the future of the mosques in the Gulf. So this will be in the activity hours this Wednesday. So join us if you can. And yeah, promote the competition. And it's just me appreciating this crowd and appreciating this sense of creative, competition between your peers. So cultivate that, and I'm so happy that you're interested as well. And we cannot wait to see your proposals. If anyone has any problem with the forms, contact the Dale Instagram, and I've already shared it here as a link, so you can pass it on. There is also, I think, Mrs. Asha, the submission detail, the email. The email will be shared to you. There will be a specific email for this competition application. We will share it with you on Instagram. So keep an eye on Instagram so that you would see which email address you need to send it to. Tamam?
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Tamadar. Wishing everybody all the best, and it's a race with time, and hopefully to succeed. We designers, we work best under pressure, so I hope all your creativities come out within this short time. But this is part of the challenge, actually. Let's see how creative you can be in such a short time until 9th of December. Yeah.
Not to keep you under pressure, but we've got requests all the way from Oman. It's open all the way to students in the Gulf. So, show us that you are actually keeping up with the rest of the design students all around the Gulf, and let's see what you come up with. May the odds be in your favor.
Exactly.
If you need any more clarification, or if you have any other doubt, you can always approach to us. You're always most welcome. And wish you good luck from all of our team. And we are really excitingly, looking forward to see your contribution.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Have a good day. Have a good challenge.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Start sketching and designing. Bye for now.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.